Hi, everybody. I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there today in class. I needed someone to watch my children. So instead of holding class with you live, I have recordings for you for everything that we were going to go over today. Today was kind of a big day in class. So I was super disappointed when I wouldn't be able to be there to teach it to you myself. So I thought this was the second best thing. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to go into today's folder, Wednesday, February 3rd. We're going to click on Gerund Review first. Yesterday we did participle review, and today we're going to do gerund reviews. And remember, once you open this up, you're going to be writing the correct answers on your own worksheet and saving it to Google Docs so that you have something to study for when it comes to taking the real test. All right, so I have my gerunds worksheet up right here. So participles are verbs that are acting like adjectives, and gerunds are verbs that are acting like nouns, okay? And if you remember, gerunds, they are always going to end in ing, and they're acting as nouns, okay? But be very, very careful, because not every word that ends in ing is a gerund. You have to make sure that that ing word is a verb that's acting like a noun, okay? So we're going to circle the gerunds. Running is something I only plan to do if I am chased by zombies. So running right here is a verb, but no one's doing it. This is actually the subject of the sentence, running. I decided that I should shower after trudging through the mud. Guys, remember I told you, find your subject first and then your verb. That'll help you find your verbal. So I is my subject, my verb is decided. That I should shower after trudging through the mud. Trudging is my gerund because it is a noun. It is something that I'm doing. So trudging through the mud is a thing in this instance. Drawing is something I have always wished I could do well. Drawing is actually my subject in this sentence. So drawing ends in ing, it's my subject. So therefore, it is a noun. My family enjoys barbecuing during the summer months. My family is my subject. What do? They enjoy. What do they enjoy? Barbecuing. The thumping of the music next door kept me from sleeping. So the thumping of the music next door is actually my subject. So thumping is going to be the subject, and therefore it is my gerund. But remember, I said don't just stop there. Look for any other words in the sentence that could be a gerund as well. Here we've got sleeping. So the thumping of the music next door kept me from sleeping, kept you from doing something. I love rafting through rapids. I is my subject. What's the verb? I love. And what do I love? Rafting. This is actually my direct object. Gerund phrases are just like participle phrases. It's the gerund plus all of the words that modify with it. So, for example, traveling to Europe was my lifelong dream. Traveling here is my gerund. Traveling to Europe, that whole thing is my gerund phrase. Remember, a gerund phrase is impossible to be a gerund phrase without the gerund. You must include the gerund in the phrase when you're underlining. And this whole thing is actually my subject. So let's identify gerund phrases down here. Visiting with loved ones is how most people spend the holidays. Visiting is my subject here. So it's a gerund, it's a noun. Visiting with loved ones is my gerund phrase. Most people don't enjoy embarrassing themselves in front of others. People is my subject. And people do enjoy. This is my verb phrase right here. Sorry, it's so messy. Embarrassing themselves in front of others is the thing that they do not enjoy doing, okay? So that is my gerund phrase. I gave skiing a chance, but I just felt cold and wet. I is my subject. Gave is my verb. And what did I give? I gave skiing a chance. That's my gerund phrase. The toddler spent the whole night waiting for Santa. The toddler is my subject, and they spent the whole night and then waiting for Santa. Waiting for Santa is my gerund phrase. It is the thing that they did. Testing at the end of the year gives the whole school a lot of stress. So gives is my verb, but what's my subject? What gives the whole school a lot of stress? Testing at the end of the year. That whole thing is my gerund phrase. Now we're going to go ahead and look at, since a gerund is a verbal, it's a verb acting like a different part of speech, and we know that they are nouns. So a noun can be a subject complement, a direct object, indirect object, or object of a preposition. And there's some examples for you to go ahead and take a look at. So writing letters to family or friends and family is still important to some people. That's a noun because it's the subject. So writing is the gerund, and writing letters to family or friends and family is the subject. And that's the whole gerund phrase. I love learning about grammar. Learning is my gerund. What is being loved? Learning about grammar. That's the direct object. It's the recipient of the action. And then after the man underwent knee replacement surgery, he was nervous about walking for the first time. Walking for the first time is my gerund phrase, and it's object of a preposition because this is the preposition right here, about. About what? About walking for the first time. This is the object of that preposition, about. So I hope that this helps you guys a little bit with gerunds, and we will continue on, but make sure to save these answers for when you're studying for your test, and watch the next video on the second part of today's lesson.